You walk into a party and suddenly it feels like 1,000 spotlights are on you. You're convinced everyone is watching your every move. But here's the truth. While you think you're the main character in this high-stakes social drama, they're all too busy worrying about themselves, probably scrolling through TikTok or wondering if their own outfit looks okay. What if I told you that the intense anxiety you feel, that constant feeling of being judged, is a massive lie your brain tells you every single day? This isn't just a feeling. It's a well-documented psychological trap called the spotlight effect. It's the reason you replay that slightly awkward handshake in your mind for 3 days straight. There was a fascinating experiment conducted by psychologists Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky. They had students wear an embarrassing t-shirt, one with a huge picture of Barry Manilow on a tan, walk into a room full of their peers. Afterward, they asked the students how many people they thought noticed the shirt. On average, the wearers guessed about half the room noticed the reality. Less than a quarter actually did. Imagine walking into a party wearing a shirt that says, "I, Durian." You're bracing yourself for the stares, the whispers, the judgment. But as you look around, nobody seems to care. They're laughing, talking, and completely oblivious to your bold fashion statement. That feeling? That's the shift from intense shame to laughter, and finally, to sweet, sweet relief. You're not the center of their universe, and that's incredibly freeing. But why does our brain trick us into thinking we are? Our brains are running on some seriously outdated software. Think back to our caveman ancestors. For them, being rejected or judged by the tribe wasn't just embarrassing. It could be a death sentence. Getting kicked out meant facing a hungry, saber-toothed tiger alone. So, our brains evolved to be hypersensitive to social judgment as a survival mechanism. It's a feature, not a bugger rather. Was a feature. So, why does your brain still act like you're in a prehistoric cave when you're just trying to order a coffee at Starbucks? This evolutionary hangover traps us in what I call the hyper-awareness prison. It's like having a relentless narrator in your head, a captain overthinker who critiques everything. I blinked weirdly just now. Was my laugh too loud? I'm just standing here. They probably think I'm a statue. Cancel me. You become so focused on your own performance that you miss the actual party. This cycle of self-scrutiny is exhausting, turning what should be fun social events into mental minefields. But if you think you're alone in this, you're mistaken. Even the most successful people on the planet have been trapped by social anxiety. Adele has famously struggled with debilitating stage fright. Emma Watson has spoken openly about her own social anxiety, and even a figure as monumental as Gandhi was painfully shy in his youth. Think about it. Even Hermione Granger, the brightest witch of her age, probably felt like people were judging her spellcasting form at some point. Knowing that these icons felt the same way we do isn't just comforting. It's proof that this feeling isn't a life sentence. It's a common human experience we can overcome. Now, let's zoom out and look at the whole party. This is what I call the party paradox. Imagine we could freeze time and see everyone's inner thoughts. One person is thinking, "They're totally judging my shoes." Another is internally screaming, "Oh no, they hate my laugh." Someone else is convinced the entire room saw them sneak a third sage stick. See the pattern? Everyone is the star of their own anxiety movie, and they're too busy with their own script to pay attention to yours. The plot twist is that nobody is watching you because they're all waiting for you to watch them. So how do we break free? It's time for the transformation. Instead of asking yourself, "Are they judging me?" Flip the script. Get curious. Ask, "I wonder what their story is." Shift from being a spotlight victim to a curiosity-driven connector. Here are 3 practical tools to help you do just that. First, the 3-second rule. When you see a chance to talk to someone, do it within 3 seconds before your anxiety has time to talk you out of it. Second, use a grounding technique. When you feel the panic rising, focus on your 5 senses. What are 5 things you can see? For things you can feel, and so on. It pulls you out of your head and into the present moment. And third, reframe your mistakes. That drink you spilled isn't a life-ending disaster. It's a micro-meme, a funny little story for later. Imagine a courtroom. Judge Anxiety slams the gavel and declares, "You are found guilty of overthinking." But instead of accepting the verdict, you simply stand up and walk out of the courtroom. That's the power you have. The party paradox isn't really about them watching you, it's about you watching yourself. So it's time to step out of that self-imposed spotlight and step into your freedom. You are not on trial. You are free to just be. If this message hit you harder than your last awkward party moment, do me a favor. Smash that like button, share this with your overthinking squad, and subscribe for more psychology that helps you win at life. Thanks for watching.